on Twitter,
Twatter.
Twatter. He posted this, and it was actually a quick update, even though it was filed on the 14th of last month. But there was some just updates, I guess, with Nike and BAPE. If you guys don't know, they've been in an ongoing dispute about, Nike's pretty much trying to sue BAPE for the Air Force One. It's been a thing that's been going on for the past year now. And there's been some updates on what they are actually going for and what BAPE's pretty much asking for dismissal. So Reliant is Nike's on the assertion that its ownership registration saves it from alleging its trade dress in detail that it barely attempts to defend the written descriptions on the merits. Indeed, Nike's opposition highlights the fact that 3 of its 6 assertion registrations for allegedly different trade dresses have identical written descriptions. If Nike's descriptions are so vaguely written that they can equally apply to the 3 separate designs, how can BAPE possibly know which designs to avoid? Further, the court cannot specify injunction relief when Nike's pleadings are so vague, and so these pleadings must be dismissed. From what I just read right there, it automatically makes me think of YouTube. You know how YouTube is so vague with their things, bull. Like,
oh well, yeah, and the copyright shit.
You said what?
I said and copyright rules, or if you get a little this, we determined that this was not good because of this.
Yeah.
Well, why? Well, wasn't it good because of this? Can you be specific at all? Nah. Yo, you can't say those things in your video. What things? The things that you said in the video, you cannot say. So but can you tell me which things those are?
Specifically.
Listen. We cannot be specific, but just recognize that the things that you said are not good. All right.
So basically, they're just being super vague about what they're talking about, and it's to the point where SOCJ made the analogy of that. They're pretty much saying, like, if you have a car and you're like, yo, you can't have a door, a bumper, or a fender. So I'm pretty sure like they're speaking on like lace holes, or how certain straps are. But merely they are parts listed. Okay, here. Not only are the descriptions identical, but they are merely lists of parts that most sneakers have. This would be like a car designer claiming trade dress rights in its design of the fender, bumper, vertical door panels, the wavy hood, and the roof of the car, and the relative positions of these elements to each other without specifying what attributes or designs of those elements are claimed. So basically, Nike just being Nike, they're trying to claim, I guess, certain parts of the shoe that are pretty much on every single shoe out there. Maybe a toe box or the wraparound or the ankle collar, things like that is Nike's being on. I'm kind of curious of your thoughts and opinions on the Nike and BAPE ordeal in general, for the fact that it's been going on for so many years, and now it's finally like they sued them in the past, they dismissed it, and now they're suing them again pretty much for trade dress. Like,
I guess because they've kind of been strong, they're just still strong with it. There's like a mid-top BAPE shoe that's like a new shoe that they did that still look like a mid pair of Forces. So I guess Nike is just they're really just trying to dead it. Seemingly like they went after what? Did they go after Kai for the ones? Or still doing that?
I guess Kai. They went after Warren Lotus. They went after
John Geiger as well, but I guess they settled or whatever the case. They had to change souls.
Mischief.
Yeah.
With the demon, the devil shoe.
The 97s.
Yeah. So they've been going pretty hard this year.
So basically, Nike's just trying to tell y'all to relax.
I would say, yeah. Oh, my bad. Kokai and Omi is the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Salute. So yeah.
From what they're saying here, though, like it being just like very general and vague, it does kind of make sense, because I want to say when they did the John Geiger one, they kind of had like a silhouette of the Forces, and it kind of just pointed out like, oh, it has a front panel that looks kind of like this, or the top panel looks kind of like this. Imagine if we made the t-shirt back in like 1800s, right? We made the t-shirt. It was the regular white blank t-shirt. All right.
It had two sleeves.
Maybe we had the thin collar, and it had a little shorter sleeves, and maybe it was single stitch, right? So then boom, someone's like, yo, I want to make my own t-shirt. They make a t-shirt, thicker collar. They got the double stitch. Maybe they do the V-neck on it. And then we're like, nah, no one else can make t-shirts.
You cannot attach the fabric at the shoulder. You cannot attach
if the fabric attaches at the shoulder of your shirt, it's not, that's us.
We created the sleeve. You cannot have the sleeve.
If your shirt has 4 holes, it will not work. We created the shirt with 4 holes, even though that kind of just makes sense for the shirt. Nah, you got to put an extra hole right here or a hole underneath the armpit for some air. But yeah, if your shirt has 4 holes and is any color really, you know what I mean, it's just not gonna work. You know what I mean? The form factor of the t-shirt, if it looks like a t-shirt, 2 sleeves on your t-shirt, it's not gonna work. Sorry, very close to the OG tee we made.
I'm hoping that BAPE can fight this one and win, because I think what Nike's trying to do is they're just trying to push as hard as possible so they can land on something and then go from there. I get it. I mean, you know, they definitely want to make a stance. They don't want people taking their shit, but at the end of the day, like, Nike was known to be stealing from ASIC. I think like the whole design of Nike was stolen off of ASICs. So you know, I get it. Protect their property, protect their brand. BAPE definitely has hijacked it. I mean, the whole premise of the BAPE was built off the Nike Air Force One. So I'm not gonna deny that, but I don't think people are buying BAPEsters thinking they're buying Air Force Ones, and that's been the main thing. Like, that's where you can sue somebody, is if you're confusing the consumer to think that they're buying a certain type of product. You know, if a consumer is like, wants an Air Force One and then they buy a BAPE and they think that they bought an Air Force One, that's where something can happen. But the people that are buying BAPE are buying BAPE because it's BAPE.
Yeah, it's BAPE. They're not buying the BAPE joints because they think it's forces at all.
Yeah.
That's probably why they're buying the BAPE, because they want the BAPE joints.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. Salutes